Hi, welcome back to ODE. My name is Paulo and today I'm showing you another pen review. And the pen I'm reviewing today is, and this is the back side of the box, is a Schon DSGN. And here have the contacts and the pen. On this side you have the nib in the pen. And here you have the pen. It comes in a very simple plastic, transparent plastic box. I'm thinking about inks. And it opens easily like this, and you have this hard foam to protect, with some cutouts to protect the pen. And you have an ink cartridge that I didn't use yet. And you have the pen, and this is what we are going to look at. And this is a Schon DSGN Pocket 6 copper. And let's go over the name. It's a Schon DSGN, it's the name of the brand. It is a pocket. It's called pocket because it is a pocket pen. It is a short pen, as you may see, and it is called Pocket 6 because it has a number 6 nib. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the features of the pen. This pen comes from the United States. It is made there, and I bought this particular one from Fontoplumo here in Europe. The pen is entirely made of copper, except the nib and the feed. It is entirely made of copper. It's quite heavy, and it is an interesting pen. And in this brand, for this same model, if you go to the website of the brand, or Fontoplumo, or any other store that sells this brand, you will see some other designs. And when I mean designs, I'm talking especially about the finishes. The same overall model, but made of aluminum, made of brass, made of copper, and I'm not sure if they are made of steel also. I think so. But the aluminum finishes are interesting because they are painted. I think it is they are anodized. I don't really know which the technique is, because when I bought this one, let me just tell you, I was going to buy a special edition they had exclusive for Fontoplumo. It was a limited edition, and I was almost going for that one when I was searching their website and found this one made of copper, and I said, okay, even if I like that specific aluminum version with orange and blue, I really prefer copper pens. So I went for this one, and I do not regret that. And so now let's take a look. The pen is very simple on the outside. It is completely cylindrical here, but it is curved on the top, and on the bottom it is flat. On the bottom of the pen you have threads for posting, and on the top you have nothing, no branding at all, and you have two lines there. One of the lines, and I think this is for aesthetics, the lines are in the middle of these, and one of the lines has to be there because it is where the cap comes out. So the other one, I think, is there just for symmetry. It has no function, it's just engraved, but I think it makes a nice design there. When you uncap the pen, you will see that the cap is, when you put them like these, threads and so on, it is bigger, but the exposed part of the cap, they would be the same size. That's what I meant. But when you do this, to show the parts that are exposed when the pen is capped, you will see that the cap is longer than the barrel, which is typical for many pocket fountain pens. The section is made of copper, is quite slim, but this is a slim pen. It's not that slim here, but it is short pen, so it couldn't be too girthy. And then you have a number 6 JoWo fine steel nib. You can put whichever JoWo number 6 nib you want here. And here there is a feature that I want to say that I don't entirely love, is that the section is a little bit too long and it covers more of the nib than other pens. So even the F4 fine is partially covered. Only if you do like this you can see it in total, but I think it could be a little shorter. One advantage of this pen is that you can buy many modifications. They have I think you can buy separate parts in separate materials just to match them as you wish, and you also have some with textures, and there is one of the sections that has a texture, but it is longer and it covers even more the nib. I would not like that one. This is a quite short pen. I would not be able to write with it like this, and more so because it is heavy. So even if you try to balance it in this area, it is too back heavy and it falls down. So you have to post it, and you do this, post it securely, and you have a full-sized pen, which is the meaning of a pocket pen. It takes almost empty. It takes cartridges, only the short international cartridges, because the barrel is really short. There is no room for anything else, or you can put a short Kaweco converter, and that's it. The most interesting stuff about this pen, first, being made of copper. Of course, having a number 6 nib. Not all pocket pens have these. The symmetry of the model, the design itself, is very well made. And there is one amazing feature that I cannot show you. I can tell you, but I cannot show you. Is the way these threads are made to cap the pen. When you put the cap on this pen, it caps in a very satisfying way. It's very hard to describe. It is metal on metal, but it is all very smooth, and you'll find that the first part, when it goes in, it is very you have lots of play there, but as you go and screw that more, it will get tighter and tighter, and then it really feels good. I cannot explain. It gets tighter and it's really pleasant. And when you uncap, you do like this, and you feel like it uncaps itself. It doesn't. You can keep it in your pocket, you will not uncap, but the feeling you have is of a perfect attention to details. And this is good, because when a brand spends so much time making, I would say, the perfect threads, I think they are really committed with their product. About that, let me just see how many turns it will take to uncap. Oops, no, it's better to do like this. So let me see, thumbs with thumbs. 1 1¼ to uncap. Now, let's just see the comparison with other pens. First, let me compare with other pocket pens, which is interesting. I have here the Kaweco Lilliput, also made of copper, and a Kaweco Supra, made of steel. The Kaweco Lilliput is much smaller, not much smaller, it is even a little bit longer, but it is slimmer and has a number 5 nib. So let's take this out of the equation just to show the beautiful copperish patina, which is quite different from that one, which is nice. And this is what it is. But it is more comparable with the Supra. The Supra is a little bit bigger than the Schon design, but the Supra have some things in common. Both have threaded caps, both are pocket pens, both are very small pens, both are hard to write with without posting, both have number 6 nibs, I don't know if I just said that, and both have to post to have a full size. Here you can see some differences that the Schon design posts much easily than the Kaweco. The Kaweco sometimes you don't find the perfect way to screw the cap on the back. So this one is a little bit more pleasant, but in the Kaweco, that thing that I was telling you about the nib outside the section, you will see that the nib on the Kaweco looks much bigger. They are even different because one is Jowo, another is Bock, but it doesn't matter in this moment. But when posted, but they are both of the same size, roughly, just a few millimeters in difference. So I would say these pens are quite equivalent. And I think it will be just a matter of preference, of brand. And I think this really is a very interesting pen. I'm thinking of making versus video of the Kaweco Supra versus the Schon design. I think it will be interesting. But the Kaweco Supra has the other part that if you want to use this pen as a full-sized pen, you have this middle section that you can put as an extender of the barrel, and the pen will be this longer than this one, so it will become a full-sized pen without posting, and this you cannot do that. But it was just to show you the overall difference, but I think I'll make a video about this one. If you are interested in that, please tell me and I'll try to do it. And finally, the usual size comparison that I make with a Parker Centennial Du Full Big Red, a very beautiful pen that I really love, and then the Lamy Safari, which is not a Lamy Safari, but doesn't matter, the size is the same, but this is the more exquisite Lamy LX Ruthenium. And you'll see that this one is much shorter if you uncap the Lamy, because the Lamy is made to write with unposted, and the Parker Du Full unposted and the Schon design posted. You will find that the three are full-sized pens. And the nice thing is this one is as girthy or almost as the Parker Du Full, and it has a nib of roughly the same size. So it's really an interesting experience. This one is much heavier, and I have to say it is fully balanced when you use it posted, because it will fall here, it's not too long, so it is nice and good to write with, although it is not a light pen. I like heavy pens, so no problem with that. Now, about one part of the pen which is not light at all, more on the heavier side, is the price. This pen costs around 160 euros. And you may think it is quite pricey for such a small pen. I would say, and this is my very particular opinion, as this whole review, that I don't think 160 euros is expensive. Roughly, yes, I have more expensive pens even. But I think this is a little expensive, but it is not that expensive. When you think the aluminium versions are a little cheaper, but not much, you find that when you're using copper, it should become much more expensive. So when you think about the price materials relation between this one and the aluminium ones, I would think the copper is more worth of the 160 euros it costs. Now, I already talked a lot about this pen. Let's take a look at how the pen performs on paper, which it is what matters the most. And here we have pen and paper, and let's see how it performs. So, this is the Schon DSGN Pocket 6 in copper. Let's see if the pen holds its writing until the end of the review, because it was almost empty, as I showed you. It has a fine steel nib, JoWo number 6 nib. The paper I am using is the usual Rhodia dot pad, and the ink is the Sailor Gentle Okuyama. This is a bottle that I think I'm going through it because this is no longer available. It is kind of a dark, dry blood, copperish burgundy color, and it is getting emptier, and so I think I will always keep a pen inked with this ink just to get rid of that bottle. And I really like this ink, but no longer available, so let's reduce the amount of ink that I have. And so let's see the performance of the pen. What you can expect from the performance of this pen is a performance like you usually expect from a JoWo nib. JoWo nib regular performance. You can see it is a pen that writes well. Even if you write faster, there is no problem with ink flow. It is very well behaved. You can try to have some line variation, but you have to press hard. I would not advise you to do that, more so because when you have a more heavy or heavier pen in your hands, you sometimes have the tendency to flex it more or to press it more against the paper, so be careful with that. About the natural line variation, you will not have any, as I told you. If you force it a little, you may have. About the reverse writing, because some people like to have two, let's call it two nib grades in one pen. Reverse writing. It goes for a little while, but very, very dry. It is smooth, but too dry. You will not be able to write well with it, but maybe just put a little note on the side of your text. That is possible. About the wetness, I think this nib is quite wet, quite good, very good ink flow, very well tuned, no feedback almost. I would usually prefer a little bit more feedback, but it is quite good. It is what you expect for a generic JoWo nib. In my opinion, what I would change, I would make a section a little bit shorter, not to cover the base, so much the base of the nib, and I would make a nib engraved with some kind of the brand's logo. I think that is important. It's nice to see that the nib belongs to the brand and it's not just a generic JoWo nib. So this is all I had to show you. Thank you for watching to another long review. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon here on the channel. Bye.